in the natural searches. So this is people just going into Google and suddenly typing in Under Armour. They weren't doing it in April, and they are in October. Each of those peaks relates to a social media outreach that we have done. So we can turn around to what is a £600 million turnover company and say, we have tripled the natural interest in your brand, and that's worth a small retainer. But there's a problem. I hate this. Google is dead. You cannot look for anything on Google now without seeing our work. Digital PR has killed search results. Search engine optimization has destroyed the credibility of Google as a tool for public use. Google have allowed us to do it. They taught us how to optimize. They taught us a framework for how to work with their spiders and their backlink. It used to be called backrub after all. And there are whole industries out there to optimize one site above the other. Here's an example. I thought I'd use this one, lots of students. Here's a small company that's offering you 100 quid. All you've got to do is text them on your phone, and they'll put the 100 quid in your bank account the next day. I think the next hour, it's a mini credit. Don't write it down, they're horrible. But they're there, page 1. We came across this, my flatmate and I, and he thought, yeah, that sounds good. I can't be bothered to go to the bank and arrange an extra overdraft. I'll do a text message, get 100 quid, we'll go to the pub, I'll pay it off next week. And you Google them. You come across these things like PR log and free press release. To Joe Public, these look like decent statements of a large company. They look credible news stories. The fastest #1 text message loan provider launched in the UK. We would have thought in 10 years ago, if a company could afford to put out a statement like that, if it got through the regulators, then it must be true. But it's not. 12 pages down Google, underneath the self-optimized messages that MiniCredit have released, you find hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of true forum responses outing this company as a fraud. This is only true because of the ease of companies PRing and SEOing themselves, and the greediness of a small number of companies making it free and easy to do so. Here's another example, Dell. Dell computers, page 1. Don't they look great? There's a little review right there on page 1. I like a lot of Dell's newer laptops. I hope to like the newly enhanced blah, 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 but maybe it's this one that I love. That looks good. Someone like me wrote that. You can tell when you go to page 12. It's the same laptop variety that explodes every now and then, that the batteries are being recalled, that there's a specific Dell help page to assist you with sending it back to them. But page 1 has been SEO'd. There's no way of you knowing that. There is no agreement between the advertiser, the PR company, the marketing agency, to say I've ethically agreed to state my intentions when I posted that forum message. As of a couple of months ago, tweets, and I don't know if Facebook things do it yet, but tweets on Twitter appear at the top of Google results. That's the most important piece of PR any company can have day to day. What do people think right now? You Google Toyota, the latest tweet about the problem is going to be there. They can't get rid of that with a large standard traditional PR campaign. They have to influence what people are saying. However, you can buy tweets. What does that say about the reality of Google as a public service tool? So there we go. I don't like you, Google, anymore. I spend a lot of money with you and you're very important for my clients, but I believe the credibility of Google is inversely proportional to the success of SEO. So where else do we turn? We turn to Facebook. If we're going to buy a laptop, we're going to ask our mates, we're going to Twitter them, go to the pub, not sure. Well, we're not going to go to Facebook, that's for sure. This is Alka-Seltzer, the official Alka-Seltzer fan group. Anyone ever tried it during sex? Believe me, I was dubious at first, but it works. These are messages that aren't coming quite generally from the general public. and it's an almost over-the-counter pharmaceutical brand. I think Facebook users within a very short space of time will be bitterly aware of this problem. I think companies that are using Facebook in this way are going to see their investment fall very short. So what could we do? We've stood here and said to you, become part of the digital PR agency world. And yes, do, it's really fun, and wear what you like and you earn a bit of money. But if you're going to be the future of the PR world, how could you change it? I suggest that you talk about it, but perhaps a code of ethical conduct, transparency of sponsorship. Follow the pharmaceuticals regulatory system, because we're going to have one soon ourselves if we don't provide one. Why not force companies like mine that work with literally thousands of bloggers every day to state that we do so? Couldn't that only help the outcome of the Google result, the blogger themselves, and the credibility of my brand? You can't start at the top. Google won't do anything. I wanted to place a $100,000 campaign with them last week. They don't call you back. Facebook won't answer the phone for £30,000. Yet the bloggers I work with, 50 Boots, when I put a new boot out there, he has 500,000 visitors a month. And he texts me every day. Start at the bottom. Change your approach. Customer relationship management has a much higher return on investment over the long term than marketing through social media. Public relations, I believe, is much more about listening, responding, reacting, and incubating an idea that is shared with the consumer, rather than marketing which pushes them. So let's turn that into online social media CRM, if you like. Let's shift the budget. I go into the companies I work with now and say, the budget for social media mustn't sit with your SEO department.